At least I can bring the knowledge that I've learnt over the last 10 years. But I've been really pleased by their absolute desire to know more. This is a programme that's being developed in the Department of Education for the staff, either the staff of schools, staff of colleges and higher education organisations. And so it gave me heart that we are beginning to start earlier, perhaps not early enough, but certainly earlier. And I found, although I know anything about this programme, Bounds Forward, this is the Healthy Minds curriculum, which is a curriculum for schools. And I was amazed when it said it was 113 lessons for years 7 to 10 students. And it is resilience training. Some people object to that word resilience, and some people are very careful about how they use that word, but here they use the word resilience skills. And there are quite a lot of lessons, so I don't know which other lessons are going out of the window while this is coming in, but again, a real concern. And my final slide, the Dean of Medicine, Clinical Dean in Cambridge, said to me, Carol, we don't have to use the word resilience. We can use the word bounce. And I rather like that. And the whole idea that life's not about how fast you run, how high you climb, but how well you can bounce. And I've done quite a lot of bounce. So thank you very much.
Landscape about well-being in the workplace. Are you happy to take some questions from our audience? If you have a question to ask, I'd be grateful if you could wave your hand really high, and then we've got some roving microphones to reach you. Wonderful. So I can see a question in the middle, and then I can see a question over to my right.
Hi Carol, my name is Vicky Marshall. I had a stroke through stress 9 years ago. My company is called Discover Your Bounce. So thank you for your last slide. My question is, how long do you think workplaces will take for this to actually embed? Because we're still hearing people say we don't have time, we don't have the money, or we put a basket of fruit in the kitchen and we think that's enough. How long do you think it's going to take?
Okay. That's an interesting question. I mean, when I first started really talking about mental health, when I wrote my first report in 2008, people just really ignored it. So I don't think there was even the recognition. They explained it away with other things. They pushed it under the carpet. And so I think the first important thing is people recognize it. I think it doesn't take a lot of money, but it does take a desire to change the culture, to do the leadership. I don't think it takes a lot of money to decide to have someone on your council or your board that will be aware and will find out, maybe it's through HR or whatever, about their health and well-being, but will make sure that the people at the top hear it. And that is really a change of culture. I think it does cost something to enable your managers or the people in charge of people to be trained, and I have to say, if I only had a little bit of money, I would not buy mindfulness. I would not buy cognitive behavioural therapy to start with. I get the fundamentals in there, because then I think you need less of the other things. Because I think many more employers want to do the right thing. I don't think, I sort of feel I'm much more pushing it open doors now. But they always say to me, where do I start? And then sometimes they try to put far too many things in together. I think it needs really a determination to change the culture. And that's about relationships. And then I think you could choose one or two of those interventions, I say none of which we have any evidence base for, sadly, as yet, and then put them in and measure them. as I say, and I'd spend any money I could grab hold of on getting my people who are in control of other people more people-friendly.
We have a question here and then one in the middle.
Thank you for an excellent talk. I'm conscious that many of the problems that you're describing, people bring with them to work or to the universities. They're not particularly caused, but that doesn't take responsibility away from them to do something about it. But you've emphasised the lack of evidence as to what one should be doing. It strikes me that universities are places which are designed to answer questions, and so maybe are a better place to try and address this kind of problem in terms of producing evidence than other employers. And my question therefore is, if you were a university or leading a university and could do a study, what would it look like? How do we begin to assemble the evidence base to know what we should be doing?
It's an excellent question. I mean, first of all, universities should be the place that are contributing to this. But, and I know it would be difficult to design it, but actually if you don't do it in the places of work, how do you, I mean, you can theorize for a long time, but this is about people and their interactions in the workplace. And I saw a small example, it probably wouldn't reach any of the right standards for academic research, but the railways have recently done a control trial. They have a lot of mental health problems, and what they've done is they decided they wanted to help their line managers get better, so they did business as usual, and they had one group that had online training, because if you think about it, they've got people very, very diverse, diffuse, so they don't have them all in one place, and then they had one group that had face-to-face. It was evaluated by the Institute of Employment Studies, so it's a proper evaluation. And there was a statistically significant difference between doing as usual. But interestingly, there was very little difference between whether it was face-to-face or online. Now that's very simple research. I wish I could see universities enabled, well, perhaps they could do it within a university, but enabled to do much more work on the ground, because you want to know what's going on in the workplace. But I think there's just not been enough of an interest, but I am chairing on Thursday the National Institute for Health Research is thinking of putting out a lot of money, I think, for one of their sort of big program, I'm sure I got the words wrong, one of their units, but they're going to do it on workplace health. Now that, I think, is a real opportunity for universities to come in with some idea. I mean, the only place that does research to the standard that I think any university colleague would think to be good is, recently, is the unit that was founded by the MRC and the ARC at Southampton University. Karen Walker-Bone leads that, but that's on musculoskeletal. So we have nothing, as far as I know, of the size on mental health in the workplace. But I think it will be doable, but you might have to know the standards a bit. Because I just think measurement becomes. But I do know that some of the big private companies, they're as keen to know their figures. So I think there are organisations that would work on this. It's not impossible.
Fantastic. I think there was a question in the middle.
Places like Bristol are obviously expanding with their mental health initiatives and all things like that. Don't think very limited consideration has been given to the number of students that are increasing as well. So yes, there are more appointments, but there are also a higher number of students per appointment. How do you think the university like Bristol should carry on with increasing number of expanding people?
Let me make sure I understand your question. You're saying because student numbers are increasing, have I got that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, an increasing number of students equals an increasing number of...
Of people needing counselling, for example, but also more money being pumped in, but it's not actually decreasing the need for students because there's more students coming in, if that makes sense. So it's not actually helping.
Yeah, but you wouldn't... I think you wouldn't want to be able to stop students coming to a university just because you thought what you would do would be having more mental health problems, if you see what I mean. I don't think I would want to say that. I think we've got to try and get way beyond the treatment phase, because what all universities have done, and Cambridge is certainly as guilty of this as anywhere else, year on year I had to put more money into counselling. But I knew that year on year I wasn't actually getting anywhere. And I think at last I do see much more collaboration between universities and much more work in universities to say what is causing this. Because we've really got to try and get a bit further upstream, because these are young people who you want to have a good education and you want them to be able to go out into the world and work well. So there are lots of universities who've taken more students. We've increased our graduate population. We've certainly had more. I genuinely, and I don't know anybody knows the answer why are we seeing so much more symptomatology in our young people in universities, because certainly there is more to be seen. And how much do we have to work much more with schools so we do something before it arrives there? And again, I've wondered, I have no answer to this, how much does social media contribute towards what we're seeing? So I don't think we understand it yet, but I don't think just more a mental health input of a counselling sort is going to be a long-term answer. But I did spend part of today with colleagues in the university who I really did think were trying their very best to really get to grips with the issues and really had some very innovative ideas. So I think we're all on a journey, and my personal view is that we should all support each other to try and get to grips with it.
Carol, I know there'll be more questions from the floor, but I think that's possibly a good note to end this evening's conversations on. But there is an opportunity for further conversations over wine, but before we do so, we have something, Carol, that we'd like to give you from the university, if we may. So, Carol, we'd like to thank you deeply for giving the annual Elizabeth Blackwell lecture this year. This is a piece of Bristol blue glass, and as I'm sure as you know and the audience knows, Bristol blue glass is a Bristol tradition, and we celebrate Dr. Blackwell, who was a daughter of Bristol, with a piece of blue glass for you tonight. So thank you again. Thank you.
Last time I had a piece of Bristol blue glass was when I qualified in medicine.
So thank you for being a wonderful audience this evening. I know there was more questions from you, so we are going to come into the room next door. There'll be soft drinks and wine, and you're very welcome to carry on the conversation with Dame Carol or with anyone among the team. Thank you. Thank you.